Hi everybody. How's the video quality that side? I think my network is bad, but just confirm with me how the video quality is that side. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. So kindly, as you are joining, like the live, right? Like the live, like the live as you are joining. As you are joining, before I get started, right? Like the live. I hope you guys are able to get me because it's just a quick live, right? We're just about to do a quick weekly market breakdown, see what the market is doing, and obviously look for possible opportunities together. So Monday is already done. This is the hour of 8 p.m. Obviously, I'm done trading, and as well as other traders. So let's get started. Let's prepare for tomorrow's market opening. Let's prepare for tomorrow's opportunities. So I need everyone active. I need everyone active. Are we all active? Are we all ready to break down the market? Are we all ready to break down the market? Are we all ready to break down the market? So I can see Saint Taraza is ready. I can see Lamek is ready. I can also see uh, Mishek is as well as ready as well. So I need everyone active. I need everyone active. Let's reach 30 people watching this live. Motivate me, guys. So let's reach 30 people. I'm starting the market breakdown. Let's reach that. So that means share the live, right? Share the live. Are we all ready? So how many are we? We are 25. Five people remaining. Five people remaining. All right, so I guess let's get started, right? So it's already a Monday, market is already opened, right? So I want us to go through some charts. I want us to go through some pairs and just see, uh, just take a look at what we're going to be looking at this week. So we all know we are a day. Tomorrow is 31st, right, of March. That means we're about to end March and we're about to start April. So that also means that a new month is beginning, right? So it's very crucial that when you're about to start a new month, ending a new month, you'll get to have an overview of where the market is going, and as well as market structure of the market, and obviously what opportunities are we going to be having in the month of April. So, how many are ready for April? 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 All right. So, our are you guys? Is everyone able to see my chart? Are you guys able to see my chart? Is everyone able to see my chart? Are you guys able to see my chart? All right. So Mr. Tembo says clean chart, the quality is good and sound too. So that means we're good to go. So I want us to start looking at the charts and just see what we're going to be looking at. So as we are ending, as we are ending, let me just delete everything. So as we are ending a month and starting a new one, very important that we get to look at what we're going to be looking at. So we're going to start by looking at DXY. Also going to look at Euro USD. We're also going to look at GBP USD. We're also going to look at NZD USD. We're also going to look at AUD USD, USD Swiss franc as well. We're also going to look at USD CAD. We're also going to look at USD JPY. And we're also going to look at gold. We're also going to look at BTC USD. Let's try to look at Coinbase. All right. And what else are we going to look at? I think this will be enough for the night, right? These pairs will be all right for the night. These pairs are all right for the night. All right, so I think this will be enough to start the week, right? So let's start by looking at the dollar index. What are we having on the dollar index? So we'll be looking at, I don't normally start on the monthly time frame, but we're going to start from the monthly. We're going to look at the daily. We're going to look at the 4 hour, 1 hour, and as well as 30 and 15 minutes time frame. What are we going to look at as well? We're also going to take use of the William fractals. So I'm just going to highlight, put them over there. Period, I'm going to use 30. I'm just going to change colors here as well. All right, so I'm also going to look at the, what else are we going to look at? All right, so let's start. We're also going to make use of a trend line and the, I'm using a different trading view. So this is a new trading view actually. So I'm just putting everything so that we're able to have a smooth live, right? So we'll be looking off all these and we'll be looking for 0.71, 0.79. We're going to be looking off all these, turning off that, and we're going to be using that. I want them to be on the right, and we're only interested in looking at the levels. Okay, so that's the Fibonacci that we're going to be using. That's the Fibonacci that we're going to be using, right? So how many are following? How many are ready? So I'm about to start. How many are having excess accounts? Let me see a fire emoji if you do have an excess account. Let me see your fire emoji if you do have an excess account. Let me see your fire emojis. Let me see your fire emojis if you do have an excess account. Only one person has got an excess account. All right, so wonderful. All right, so we're going to start by looking at DXY, right? We're going to start by looking at the dollar index. We're going to start by looking at the dollar index. So whenever I'm about to start analyzing the charts, I always start with what? I always start with the dollar index. I always start by analyzing the dollar index. I always start by analyzing the dollar index. So what exactly is the dollar index? So the dollar index, this is an index that measures the strength of the US currency. So if the dollar index is pushing to the upside, that simply means the dollar as a currency is gaining value. And if the dollar index is pushing to the downside, that simply means the dollar as the currency is pushing to the downside, or rather it's losing value. So now pairs that are paired with USD, and as well as pairs that are trading against the USD, or rather pairs that are also trading with the USD. So that's the reason why we're going to start with the dollar index. So that means if we are looking to trade, XAUSD, let me make this bigger. Let me change my text. Okay. If we are looking to trade XAUSD, USD, JPY, USD, JPY, ETC, right? We have to understand how the dollar index is moving. We need to keep in mind how the dollar index is moving overall. So before we can actually start looking at GBP USD, looking at what gold is doing, and looking at what GBP USD is doing for the week, we need to fully understand what the market is saying. We need to understand what direction are we going to be getting from the market, right? So now, if the dollar index is pushing to the upside, then we are going to expect XXUSD pairs to drop. Then we're going to expect what? XX pairs to do what? To drop. And if the dollar index is going to continue pushing to the upside, then we're going to expect USD XX pairs to do what? To push to the upside. So this is the reason why we are starting with the dollar index. So as we analyze, the market structure beats everything. Market structure does what? Beats everything. And if we are to look at the market structure of the dollar index right now, let me just turn this off. If we are to look at the market structure of the dollar index, we can see that the dollar index did what? Broke structure. So if we are to look at the dollar index right now, we can see that the dollar index was trading in between this high and this low. So we can see that the dollar index has been in a consolidation, or was rather in a consolidation phase for quite some time, right? Because this is on the monthly time frame. So that means every candle that's been printed here represents a monthly time frame. So after that, we can see that the dollar index did what? We can see that the dollar index broke above what? We can see that the dollar index broke above. We can see that it broke above the resistance. I don't know why this thing is moving slow. All right, so we can see that now we are trading above what? Above this particular point here. We can see that the dollar index traded is now trading above our resistance level, of which, if the dollar index is now trading above this particular area here, this simply tells us that we'll be looking for buying opportunities, because this level is no longer holding to be a resistance point, right? Because it has already been broken, so it's better off being removed. But the structure still remains the same. So when we look at the structure for dollar index on the monthly time frame, we can see that we had a previous broken structure here. We had a broken structure around this area here, a protected low and a protected high around this area here. So when we bring in my Fibonacci, we can see that the market fits perfectly to my buy zone area. We can see that the market fits perfectly into my what? Into my buying zone area. So if the market is now fitting perfectly into my buy zone area, this simply means that according to what I'm looking for as a trader that trades price action, which is market structure plus the fib, right? I'm aiming to see the dollar index gain in value I'm looking forward to see the dollar index gain in value. So that means if I was to move lower overall, I'll be looking forward for buying opportunities. We'll be looking forward for buying opportunities. So if I was to move to a lower time frame, this is the daily time frame. We can see that on the daily time frame as well, the market was in a previous downtrend here, but did what? Broke above. We can see that the market broke above this high here. How many are able to see my screen? Are you guys able to see my screen? So from here, we can see that the dollar index broke above this high, which simply means the market is about to shift structures and is now trading above this trend line. So basically what this means for me is that overall, I'll be looking for buying opportunities, selling opportunities on Euro USD, and I'll be looking for selling opportunity for buying opportunities on USD CAD and as well as the other USD XX pairs. So we can see that the dollar index is gaining in value. So this simply means that if it can break above this high here, then I'll be targeting to look for a new high, or it will be targeting to break above a new high, which is this high around this area here. So if this market is bullish, that means I'll be looking for selling opportunities on Euro XX, Euro USD pairs, or rather XX USD pairs, and I'll be looking for buying opportunities on pairs such as the USD CAD, USD JPY, and USD Swiss franc. We're going to be looking for what? For buying opportunities on USD CAD, USD JPY, and USD Swiss franc, and selling opportunities on Euro NZD, NZD USD, Audi NZD, GBP USD, and Euro USD as well. I'll be explaining what I'll be looking, my thought on gold very soon. So just keep on sharing the live, and make sure you like this live as well. As you are joining, make sure you like the live as well. So if the dollar index is giving me buying potentials, right? If the dollar index is giving me buying potentials or bullish momentum, then I'll be looking for buying opportunities when it comes to USD CAD and USD Swiss franc. So as you can see here, USD Swiss franc is currently having the similar trend and reaction as the dollar index. So this just shows you that the similarities. This shows you the similarities between what I'm about to talk about. So whenever you're trading currency, it's all about what? It's all about currency correlation. It's all about currency correlation. So let's take a look at Euro USD. It's all about what? Currency correlation. I'm not seeing you guys liking the live. I'm not seeing you guys liking the live so far. So when I move to Euro USD on the weekly time frame, we can see that overall, remember we're trying to have an overall view of what we're going to be looking at in the month of April, right? So now overall, we can see that the market was trading above the trend line, and the market managed to do what? The market managed to break below this trend line. So this simply means that the market is now looking forward for selling opportunities. Previously the market was trading above the trend line, which simply meant that we are looking for buying opportunities. But now that the market is now trading below this trend line, simply means that we are going to be looking forward for selling opportunities. So as we are looking for selling opportunities, we can see that the market structure that the market is currently printing out, The structure that the market is currently printing out right now is that we have what? The breakout structure. We have a breakout structure here, right? And we have our recent low and recent high around this area here. So what are we looking at? We're looking at this type of a structure. We're looking at this type of what? Of a structure, which is what? A bearish market structure. We're looking forward to see the market push up and then do what? And then drop. So that means I'll be looking for the market to come back into my what? My sales zone area, which is there. So this same setup that I'm showing you guys, the setup that I'm looking for, that I'll be looking for when I'm in a downtrend. This setup I'm showing you guys, the setup that I'll be looking for when I'm in a downtrend, and as well as when I'm in an uptrend, I'll be looking for this setup here. When I'm in an uptrend, I'll be looking for what? For this setup for buying opportunities. I'll be looking for the market to come and tap into the zone and then push to the upside. So these are the two setups that we're going to be working with. These are the what? The two setups that we're going to be working with. We're going to be working with one, the sell setup module, and secondly, we're going to be working with what? The buy setup module, right? So you need to put in mind that we only have what? We only have two setups that we're going to be working with. It's either the market is pushing to the downside, or it's either the market is doing what? Pushing to the upside. There are only two things. It's either the market is pushing to the upside, or the market is pushing what? To the downside. We don't want to complicate anything. We want to keep it as simple as possible. We want to keep it simple and steady. So now when we look at this structure here, we're going to move lower to a lower time frame. When we move lower to a time frame, we can see that the market has been creating what? We can see that the market has been creating a high, low, high, low, high, and a new low here. Pushed up, created a high, pushed up, created a low, and then dropped, created another low, and then created a new what? A new high there. And what are we looking for? The market is currently in what? In a motion. The market is currently what? In motion. So what we're basically seeing is that after looking at the overall structure of the market breaking this low, when I move lower to a lower time frame, we can see that the market has been printing what? Internal structures. The market has been printing what? Internal structures. So what am I looking for overall? I'm looking for what? Selling opportunities. I'm looking for what? For selling opportunities. So what are we having here? We can see that what we're having here on the 4-hour time frame is the market breaking what? Breaking this previous structure here, and it creating what? A new structure. So when I open the chart today, which is being a Monday, when I opened the chart today being a Monday, I knew for the fact that I missed out on good entries on Euro USD because we don't have any entry yet. Because if we pull up our fib pushing to the downside, we can find that our sales zone area was already tested. and the market did what? Dropped. Our sell zone was what? Was tested, and the market did what? Dropped. So what are we going to be waiting for next? We're just going to be waiting for the market to do what? To break this low in order for us to come back into the zone and do what? And mitigate another sell zone that obviously I'm going to update the community in, right? So now what what are we going to be looking for as we start a new week? We're going to be working with market structure. We're going to be working with Fibonacci as well. How many understand market structure here? I'm pretty much sure everyone by now understand fully what market structure is, right? How many are new to trading? How many are new to trading here? How many are new to trading here? So I believe everyone understands market structure, right? So like I said, what we're going to be working with, it's a downtrend and what? And an uptrend. So we're simply going to be working with market structure and what? And the fib. Same applies vice versa. What we're going to be working with is what? Market structure and what? And the fib. We only have two setups that we're going to be working with. It's either the market is trending to the upside, it's either the market is trending to the upside or the market is trending where? To the downside. Nothing more, nothing less. We're not going to complicate anything. We are not going to complicate anything. All what we need is to see if the market is doing what? All we need to see is to see if the market is trending to the upside or moving to the downside area. I've seen a lot of people complicating trading and how they identify market structure. And the truth is that market structure is very easy to identify, right? Market structure is very easy to identify. Once you're able to identify market structure, you are able to know the market direction. What's important when you're trading currencies is that one thing about trading currencies is that the best thing is that they respect structures. They're not like these synthetic indices or indices that you may trade, right? The good thing about trading currency pairs is that they will always respect market structure, despite the fundamentals that are going to be around. The fact that fundamentals they also come to do what? To respect market structure. Also, fundamentals do what? Come to respect market structure. So all you need to do first is to do what? Make sure you understand market structure. So someone is asking what fib levels are you using? So you can quickly just take a screenshot of this. So you can quickly just take a screenshot of this and put them on your fib as well. All right, so we're not going to be complicating anything. We're not going to be complicating anything. We're always going to be keeping it simple. It's either the market is in a downtrend or the market is in an uptrend. And we can see that Euro USD is currently giving us what? This structure here. This simply means that overall on Euro USD, we're currently having selling opportunities. And where we are at the moment, we cannot sell the market simply because this is a late entry. We could have entered the market when it was around this area, but right now we cannot sell simply because this is a late entry. So what am I going to do? I'm just going to pass Euro USD and we're going to move on to GBP USD. When we move to GBP USD, right, we can see that overall on the daily time frame, we're also having what? We're also having a bearish structure supporting one, supported by trend lines and other technicals, right? And other technicals. So we can see that the current momentum on the daily time frame, as we can see that on the daily time frame, a candle represents what? 24 hours. A candle does what? Represents 24 hours. So this candle is Monday's candle. This candle is Friday's, Thursday last week, Wednesday last week. So we can see that overall last week we were bearish, and opening up this week we are as well as what? Bearish. So we have a high, which is this point, and a low, which is this particular area here. This is on the daily time frame. So on the daily time frame, we can see that the market is breaking what? It's trying to break this low. Obviously, the market, this candle is going to close below because we're almost few hours to closing the Monday's candle, right? We have few hours to close Monday's candle. So if this candle closes below, that simply means we still have opportunities of looking for what? For selling opportunities. So if the market would close nicely below, then we'll be looking for a retracement before we could actually do what? Before we could actually push to the upside. So what we're going to do is that we're always going to be dropping down lower to a lower time frame. So from the daily, I'm dropping to what? I'm dropping lower to the 4-hour time frame. So on the 4-hour time frame, we're already having what? We're already having a breakout structure. Why? Because we already have a candle that has closed below. This is a previous low and the current high at this particular area. So I'll be looking for to see how candlesticks are going to close around this area here. If we're still going to have more pushes to the downside, because I don't have a solid ground to say this is a low because the market has not closed yet. So I don't have any ground to say this is a solid low. So what are we going to do? We're simply going to be watching to see how the market is doing, what is going to react in this area. One thing you have to understand about the market currently, the market is being affected by the current war that is happening between the US and Iran. So if most of you traders have observed, if most of you traders have observed this, right? I have observed this on the current currency chart. The market has been consolidating and very choppy. You understand, right? The market has been consolidating and in a choppy way. So it means you need to also apply very, very strict risk management, right? Whenever you're trading currency pair. I myself have not been seeing any good opportunities on currency pairs. Although despite some would touch my entry zone, but not just giving out a clear setup or clear confirmation for me to enter a trade. So one thing I've noticed about March is that due to the war, the market is currently what? Is currently very choppy, and you must, as a trader, you must also exercise risk management. You must also pay attention to higher time frames. You don't have to focus on lower time frames alone. You don't have to do what? You don't have to focus on lower time frames alone. If you focus too much on lower time frames, you're going to easily be manipulated out of the market, and as well as you're going to be and you're going to be what? To be easily manipulated, kicked out, and the stop loss is most likely to be taken out, especially if you're dealing with the USD currencies or the USD paired currencies. Are we together? I don't want this live to stay very long. We might be ending at 21:30 or 21:20. I'll be live again in the morning. So all you have to do is make sure you're subscribed to this live, right? Tomorrow morning around 9:30 during London session, right? We might have a live trading. So what I want you guys to do is make sure you're subscribed to this channel. So now, looking at time, let us look at gold and BTC because these are two pairs that I'm currently interested in this week. Let us look at gold and GBP USD. Gold and BTC USD because these are the two pairs that I'm currently interested in this week. How many are trading gold this week? Or how many are willing to trade gold? Or how many are going to trade gold with me this week? And how many are going to trade BTC USD with me this week? Someone is saying, I can't see the chat. Relax, 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 relax. How many are trading BTC USD this week? Or how many do trade BTC USD this week? How many do trade BTC USD this week? So let's take a look at BTC USD, right? Let's take a look at BTC USD first. So earlier today, I got a very good move on BTC USD. So let's take a look at BTC. So when we look at BTC USD, we can see that the market is currently giving out a very good pattern, right? The market is currently giving out a very good pattern. This pattern here. So this is on the daily time frame. So on the daily time frame, what are we able to see? On the daily time frame, we can see that the market is showing us what? Continuation patterns towards the downside. The market is giving us what? Continuation patterns towards the downside. So what are we going to be doing? We're obviously going to be looking out for what? We're obviously going to be looking out for selling opportunities. This clearly shows that we are in a downtrend. And we can confirm this by looking at what? The break of structure here, which is BOS. We have the high and we have a low at that particular point. And there as well. So this is what we're having on BTC, right? It's showing us a very clear downtrend. It's showing us a very clear what? Downtrend. So if I can stretch out my Fibonacci from the highest point to the lowest point, you'll find that we have our overall selling opportunities around what? Around this area here. So this means that there is still a high opportunity of the market doing what? Coming back to this zone before doing what? Before pushing to the downside. This is one thing we don't have to forget. Looking at this break of structure, we have got a low, high, and a new low that has been created, creating this area here to be what? A break of structure. So this means that on an overall view, I'm looking for what? For selling opportunities. As I'm looking for selling opportunities, if the market was to break above this area here, or if the market was to push above, I'll be overall looking for what? For selling opportunities around this area here. I'll be looking for what? Selling opportunities around this particular point here. But looking at, we've got two scenarios. We've got scenario number one, and we also have what? Where's this thing? We also have scenario number two. We're also most likely to see what? To see the market break to the downside and push to the lower time, the lower side. But what I'm interested in is catching what? What I'm interested in is looking for selling opportunities around this area here. For now, I'm interested in selling opportunities around this area. I'm looking for what? Selling opportunities around this area here. So that means currently, as the market stands, I'm looking forward to see the market push to the upside. But what's currently happening is that this pattern here just shows a consolidation. And we can see what's happening after the market consolidates is that we're seeing a major drop. So that means we also have to keep an eye for a break below this particular area here. So I'll be looking for selling opportunities around that area, and I'll be looking for selling opportunities below this area here. So if the market intends to break, I'll also be looking for what? For selling opportunities that are going to push me what? To the downside. So now this is on the daily time frame. Let me move lower because I'm not going to draw too much on the daily time frame because we're not actually looking to swing this trade, but we're going to be looking for what? We're going to be looking for scalps and as well as day trades. We're going to be looking for scalps and as well as what? Day trade. So if I move lower to a lower time frame, we can see that what we're having right now on the 4-hour time frame is what? What we're having on the 4-hour time frame is another structure. So as much as I'm looking for the market, to push to the upside, I'll also be looking to take advantage of what? Of this correction to the upside. That means I'll be looking for what? For buying opportunities that are going to take me to this area here. So when I move to a 4-hour time frame, we can see that we also have another structure, which is this push, that push, and that push that we're currently having, which is also showing what? Bearish structures. So if I was to move in closer to a 4-hour time frame, we can see that we have got this structure here that was broken, and we also have this structure here that was what? That was broken. So this simply means that I've got a new low. Sorry, I've got a previous high, a previous low, and the current high, and a new low around this particular area here. So now we can see that the market swept liquidity around this area here, causing what? Causing the market to push to the upside, and as well as causing a break of structure around this area here. So as much as we're having a sweep, we're also having what? A break of structure, and we're also having what? A new high that has been created. So before I can focus on this internal structure, we have got an external structure, which is this point here. So this external structure is going to be measured by what? By a Fibonacci, where we're going to be looking for selling opportunities around this area here. So when I get the same Fibonacci and place it around these points, I'm going to get my selling opportunities around what? Around this area. How many are able to see my screen? How many are having, is my chart clear? Am I Am I skipping? Someone is saying network bumping post. Kindly share setup in that. Who's able to see my chart clearly? How's the quality of this live? So I want you guys to pay attention, right? I want you guys to pay closely attention because this same strategy that I'm showing you guys is the strategy that actually helped me to actually make 11,000, right, on this account. That's why I want you guys to pay closely attention. I want you guys to pay closely attention. Why do I want you guys, or why do I still want you guys to understand what I'm teaching you? What's happening now? The reason why I strongly want you guys to learn this strategy is because for those that are in my groups, they can see that I've been able to raise an account from, I think that was at 4,000 rand, at 4,000 USD, and it's now sitting at 11,000 USD. I've made some withdrawals from this account, right? Simply by using the same method that I'm showing you guys right now. Simply by doing what? Simply by using the same method that I'm actually teaching you guys right now. All these trades were taken from what? All these trades were taken from this same strategy that I'm teaching you guys. So I want you guys to pay closely attention. And if it means you guys joining me tomorrow morning for another session, if you're not going to finish analyzing or looking for opportunities, because it's already 9 p.m., right? And this was just a quick live. I want you guys to be active tomorrow morning around 9:30. I want you guys to be active tomorrow morning around 9:30 so I show you guys, or so that we can look for opportunities that we can enter the market with, right? If it's possible, we're going to do live trading. The live that we're going to have tomorrow morning is going to be for 1 hour, 30 minutes, or 2 hours. It's fine. That's the max is 2 hours. All I want is for us to trade live and make profits live. You understand, right? All I want is for us to trade live and also make money live together. So now, we don't have to forget the fact that the market is giving us what? The market is giving us break of structures. The market is giving us a break of structure, right? The market is giving us a break of structure towards the downside. So that means overall, I'm looking to sell around this region here and look for a 1:2. I'm going to explain all this tomorrow morning. I'm going to explain all this tomorrow morning. So all you need to do is make sure you're active. Make sure you're active and make sure you've got an Exness account. The link is just below this live, right? So you can click the link below this live to actually create yourself an Exness account and make sure it is actually registered under me. So now, when we move to a lower time frame, which is the 4-hour time frame which we are currently at, as much as I'm looking for selling opportunities around this area, I can also take advantage of buying opportunities to this particular point. So back to what I was explaining, right? So when we move to a lower time frame, or as we are on the 4-hour time frame, we can see that we're having a sweep, which was normally known as a manipulation, and we have got what? A break of structure towards the upside. So when I move to a lower time frame, such as the 1 hour time frame, we can see that we're having a clear sweep, a clear break of structure, and a new high that has been created. So this simply marks out that this is our low, and this is our high. This simply creates a high and a low. So what are we going to do? Very simple. After identifying market structure, we identify a swing low and a swing high for what? For the Fibonacci. So if the market is breaking highs, that simply means we're going to stretch our Fibonacci from the lowest point towards to the highest point, and we're going to be looking for buying opportunities around what? Around this zone here. So this will be our what? Our buy zone. This will be our what? Our buy zone. So on the 1 hour time frame, we can see that we have a high that was disrespected, which was our previous high. Remember, all this is internal structure. Our overall structure still remains bearish. Our overall structure still remains what? Bearish. So overall, we are looking for selling opportunities. But when we move to a lower time frame, for the market to reach this area here, for the market to reach the area that we are looking for or that we are looking to sell from, it might take another 2 days, it might take another 3 days, or it might take next week. So we're just not going to let some good opportunities as well just go to waste simply because we are aimed to one side. It's good to be aimed on one side, but as also we don't clearly know what's going to happen around this point because we are retail traders. What does that mean? As much as we are retail traders, it means we don't control the market. So my setup may be that I'm going to look for selling opportunities around this area, but then we can find that the market does what? Disrespect and hit my stops. And imagine waiting for a setup for 2 weeks or 3 weeks just for the market to hit your stop loss. It's quite frustrating, right? It can be, and it is quite frustrating. So this simply means that as much as we are heading to the upside, we can still check opportunity for what? For buying opportunity. So tomorrow, so on BTC USD, this is the setup that I'm having. This is my minor setup, and I'm also having what? My overall setup for selling opportunities. So all I'm doing for now is just chilling, relaxing because it's a Monday. And you have to let the market do what it does best. You don't need to chase the market, but you have to wait for the market to do what? To come to your point of interest. So what I'm going to do is that I'll be waiting for the market to come to my point of interest and see how the market is going to react and look for a confirmation around this area to push what? To push to the upside. How many are still on this live? I can see we're still 29. The number is still in between 30, 32, 30, 29. How many are following? What's wrong with my chart now? How many are following? W's. The W's in the chat, right? W's in the chat. So if you are following, let me see your W's in the chat in the comments, in the comment box. Let me see your W's in the chat in the comment box. If you are following, let me see your W's in the chat in the comment box. Let me see your W's in the chat in the comment box. All right, so this is my setup on BTC USD, right? I'll be looking for buying opportunities around this area here. And hopefully this high and this low still holds, right? Hopefully this high and this low still hold, and obviously we'll be looking forward to see how the market reacts around this area here. Anything could happen. One thing you have to understand about analyzing the market or being a retail trader is that anything could happen. You understand? Anything could happen. All you need to do is make sure before you enter a trade, there's a confirmation. You do have a confirmation. There should be a confirmation. Whenever you're about to make a trade, make sure there is a confirmation. So this is what I'm seeing on BTC USD. Like I said, I've got my miner setup here and my overall setup, which is for selling opportunities and buying opportunities. So let's move quickly. Let's move to looking at XAU USD, which is gold, right? So we'll be closing in a few minutes. I'll be closing in a few minutes, right? So that we are able to finish off the remaining thing, the remaining pairs, and look for opportunities, solid opportunities in the morning during London session. So let us quickly just move in and look at what we're having on gold. So when we look at gold, right, this is what we're having on gold right now. So when we look at gold, this is what 4-hour time frame. Let's see what the market looks like on the daily. So on the daily time frame, we can see that the market is just around this area here. The market is just around this area here. This simply shows you that the market is consolidating, even if we move to lower time frame, right? But this is that. So this simply means, are you guys able to see my? I think my network is becoming slow. I think my network is becoming slow. Confirm with me if you are able to see my screen. Confirm with me if you are able to see my screen. All right, so we can see that when we're looking at gold, we've got a high and a low and a previous low, which is this area here. Why? Because we broke what? We broke structures. We broke this structure. We broke structure, right? So that means if we broke structure, this stands to be a high and this stands to be what? To be a low. So I'm just going to remove this quick. So that means I've got my high and low around this area here. That simply means from now, I can now understand that if the market is breaking structures to the downside, that simply means we are in a downtrend, right? So I'm going to stretch my Fibonacci from the highest point to the lowest point. So we can see what we're having is that we're having selling opportunities around this area here. So that means as long as the market is below this area or below this zone, we are looking for what? For selling opportunity. We are looking for what? For selling opportunities. This is on the 4-hour time frame. That means I'll be looking for selling overall, looking at the setup. Overall, looking at the setup, we're looking for what? Selling opportunities to bring us what? To bring us to the downside. So now what are we going to do? I'm not looking to swing trade. That means the 4-hour time frame is only there to show me the overall structure and also the overall setup. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to drop to a lower time frame, which is the 1-hour time frame. So what do we have on the 1-hour time frame? So currently what we can see on the 1-hour time frame is that The market is still below this area here, right? Last week we had a very good sell off below this area, and the market reached this point and then reversed. So now it's back, touch this area here, and now we can see that selling opportunity is doing what? Is pumping in. We can see that selling opportunities what is pumping in. So what I'll be looking for out next is to see tomorrow. Obviously, I'll be looking for the market to see the market creating such a structure in order for me to do it, to bring in my fib. In order for me to bring in my fib, so that I could have a clear what, a clear entry. As it stands, the only entry aside from this zone here, which we have already missed, the only other entry that we could have right now is, let's say, let me delete this, is only if the market was to break below this area here. If the market was to break below this area, then that's when I'll be looking for trading opportunities to bring me to this area here. Hopefully, the market gets to break below this area tomorrow. Hopefully, the market gets to break below this area tomorrow, right? Because if the market was to bounce from this point, or if the market bounces from this point and pushes to the upside, that means it's aiming to take out this. And if it takes out this, then we'll be looking for what? For buying opportunities. But as much as we are still below this area here, market is still giving us what? Selling opportunities. This is why we can see that the market pushed up, touched our zone, and came out and now printing some good bearish opportunities. So this simply means that below this sell zone, we're still having what? We're still having strong sellers around this area here. So I'm still overall on gold right now. I'm still waiting to see how the market reacts, both on the 4-hour time frame. On the 4-hour time frame, looking at how everything is being set up, we're having good solid sellers candle. That means on the lower time frame or tomorrow, we might just see, or we might just expect to see some more bearish candles being printed out, right? And that means we're going to be looking for selling opportunities. So if we're going to be looking for selling opportunities, which means the day is already done, I can't make an entry right now. What I'm best going to do is wait for a new session, which is London session. So tomorrow we're going to see how the market is going to react during London session and New York session. So this means you don't have to miss out on tomorrow's London session live on YouTube. So this is already 9:16, which is 19:16. So let's end at this particular point so that tomorrow we come back and kill the market, analyze and look for clear market strat. So for tonight, we're just going to end with these two setups, right? And just see how best tomorrow's setup is going to, how best the market is going to respect this setup tomorrow. So make sure tomorrow you are live. Tomorrow I'll be live, so make sure you have subscribed to this YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed, you're not going to get a notification that we are active. So make sure you have subscribed to this YouTube channel, right? Make sure you're subscribed. How many are subscribed? How many are subscribed? YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe to the live trading stock market breakdown. to avoid getting notification in the morning. So we and trying out six. See you guys tomorrow morning. So guys tomorrow morning. So for today, I end from. Let me see your W's in the chat tomorrow. The chat. Let me see your 5 emotions. So let me see your W's in the chat. All right, so thank you guys for joining. Let's meet tomorrow. I'm looking forward to see Kutemo. I'm looking forward to see Mishek. I'm looking forward to see Pande. I'm looking forward to see Madam Dina. I'm looking forward to see Patrick. I'm looking forward to see Lamek. I'm looking forward to see I'm looking forward to see Victor. I'm looking forward to see Harry. I'm looking forward to see Dixon, Steven. I'm looking forward to see Melody. I'm looking forward to see who else? Melody. I'm looking forward to see Kennedy. I'm looking forward to see you guys. So thank you guys for joining the live. See you tomorrow.